guys, welcome back to Between the Sett. I'm your host, Coach Lakeisha. I know we have been off for a little bit of time this summer, but we are back on for this season. And today we are going to talk about AI on the court, the tools coaches and athletes can use right now, and where AI is taking sports next. We're talking about artificial intelligence and what it means for athletes, coaches, and the sport of volleyball specifically. Now, I know some of you might be thinking AI on a volleyball podcast, but hear me out, because this is not some far off futuristic conversation. This is happening right now on courts, in film rooms, in practice planning, in recruiting, and so forth. And if you're a coach or an athlete who's not paying attention to the wave right now, what's going on with AI, you're already behind. Today, I want to break it down in two parts. First, I'll talk about the tools that exist right now that coaches and players can actually use. Some of them free, some of them paid. And second, the bigger picture. Where is AI taking sports? What does the future look like? And what should we be thinking about as a volleyball community? Let's get into this conversation. It's going to be very exciting. First, let's talk about what AI actually is without the buzzwords that you hear on the internet today. Before we talk tools, let me just quickly level set on what AI actually is, because the word gets thrown around so loosely that it can mean almost anything. When most people say AI in the context of sports, they mean one thing or one of a few things. They mean computer vision, software that can watch video and recognize what's happening, something like Huddle. They mean machine learning, systems that get smarter the more data you feed them. And that's like generative AI, like ChatGPT, which can write, summarize, plan, and respond to your questions like a very smart AI assistant. All three of those are being used in sports right now. And all three have a version that's accessible to coaches and athletes at the high school and club level, not just the pros, because yes, the pros use it. The gap between what professional teams have access to and what a club coach can access is closing fast. That's the moment that we are in right now. Okay, let's talk about what's actually out there. Tools like Huddle, Volley Station, Solo Stats, and others have been around for a while. And they use AI to help coaches tag, analyze, and break down film faster than any human can do manually, which helps a lot of teams when they're getting stats. What used to take a coach 4 hours of film breakdown can now happen in a fraction of that time. You can pull rotational tendencies, attack distribution, serve receive patterns, and so forth, all automatically. Some of these platforms will generate visual reports you can share directly with your teams. That's cool. Now, these tools aren't always cheap, but the market is getting more competitive and more accessible. And at the college level, especially, if your program isn't using some version of AI, your opponents probably are. Even if you can't afford a full platform, learning to use Huddle's basic tagging features more strategically is a skill worth investing time in. Now, I know Huddle can be challenging sometimes, but if you take the time to learn how to use the software, I think it's a skill worth investing time in. Tools like ChatGPT, AI assistants that coaches can use for a ton of things that used to eat up hours of time, now helps you save hours. Speaking of which, I have built a mobile-first volleyball coaching app called Sett IQ, SETIQ. Set IQ is designed to help coaches generate effective, age-appropriate practice plans in seconds. It helps you generate a complete, customized volleyball practice plan in under 60 seconds. Yes, you heard that right, under 60 seconds. You can describe your team's weakness in serve receive and ask for a 3-week drill progression. You can paste in your season stats and ask for a breakdown of trends. You can ask it to generate a scouting report template. There's an AI assistant in there that can help you with all of these things. You can also have it write or rewrite your match talk for your team. Making fun practice plans is what I thought about when I made this. I got tired of making like the generic ones, and I think this one will help a lot of coaches with practice plans, one that's actually tailored to a lot of fun volleyball while also introducing the skills. The idea behind it was simple. Coaches are already stretched thin between practice, film, communicating with parents, traveling. There's Not enough time. If AI can handle the first draft of your practice plan and give you something you can refine in your own ideas and words in 10 minutes or less instead of building it from scratch in an hour, that's time back in your life. Now, listen, I'm not saying AI replaces your coaching instincts. It absolutely does not. But it can be like a research assistant, a planning partner, a first draft machine. The coaches who figure out how to use these tools are going to save hours every week and free themselves up to do what only they can do, actually coach. If you've never used an AI tool to help plan a practice, try it this week. Please try it and give me a review. You might be surprised how much time it gives you back in your day. There's a growing category of tools designed specifically for athlete tracking and development. Things like Catapult, Player Maker, and even some wearable tech that tracks jump metrics and movement patterns over time. For volleyball, this means you can start to actually quantify how many jumps a player is doing in practice versus competition. Whether they're showing signs of fatigue that might lead to injury, that's not just a pro team luxury anymore. That's becoming accessible to serious club programs. Yes. And then there's the recruiting side. AI tools are starting to help programs analyze recruits at scale, scanning film, comparing metrics, flagging athletes that fit a certain profile. Yes, AI is used to do all of these things, which means if you're a recruit and your film is not being optimized, you might be getting filtered out before a human ever watches you. The athletes who understand how they're being evaluated, including algorithmically, are going to have a serious advantage in the recruiting process. Now let's zoom out because the tools I just talked about are the beginning, not the ceiling. Where is this all going? Right now, most athlete development is one size fits all. You run the same drills, you do the same lifting programs, you get the same feedback because there's only so much time a coach has and so many players they can individualize for. AI changes that. In the near future, and in some programs already, every athlete is going to have a development profile that is constantly updated based on how they're performing, where they're struggling, what their body is telling the sensors, and so forth. And that system will adapt their training plan accordingly in real time. Yes, it's coming, guys. Imagine a practice plan that automatically adjusts your middle blocker's footwork drills because the data shows her first step has been half a second slower over the last 2 weeks. That's not science fiction. That's where this is going. Serious stuff. At the professional and college level, AI is already being used during matches to surface insights in real time. Systems that are watching the game, tracking ball trajectories, identifying patterns in opponent tendencies, and feeding that to the coaches on the bench. Yes, watching and running the play. In volleyball, that might look like an alert that the opposing setter is going back row 70% of the time when they're in a specific rotation, or that your team serve receive is breaking down on certain serve zones. Data used to take a full film session to find surface in the middle of the third set using AI. Now, does that change the game in ways we need to think carefully about? Absolutely. Which leads me to a harder conversation. I believe in its power, and I also believe that there are things it cannot do. AI cannot read the room. It cannot feel the energy shift in a gym when your team is about to turn a match around. It cannot look a 16-year-old player in the eye after she got benched and know exactly what she needs to hear in that moment. It cannot build the culture that makes a team play for each other instead of just playing. Those things, those are the human things and the mental part of volleyball. And those are what make a great coach irreplaceable. The coaches who will thrive in the AI era are the ones who use it to become more human in their coaching, not less. And for athletes, AI can analyze your jump mechanics, but it cannot give you the will to push through in the fifth set when your legs are gone. It cannot build your mental toughness. It cannot make you love the game. That's all you. That's all you. There's one more thing I want to name because I think it matters and I don't hear enough people talking about it in sports. The most sophisticated video analysis platforms, the wearables, the recruiting intelligence tools, they are not equally accessible to every program. Right now, there's a real risk that AI accelerates the gap between well resourced programs and underfunded ones, between athletes who have access to these tools and those who don't. If we care about equity in sports, and I believe we should, that has to be a part of the conversation. Not just what AI can do, but who gets to benefit from it. All right, let's land this plane. AI is not coming to volleyball, it's already here. The question is whether you're going to engage with it intentionally or let it happen around you. For coaches, start small. Pick one tool, a video platform, an AI planning assistant, or even my app, Set IQ, if you want something built specifically for volleyball. And spend a few minutes experimenting with it this week. You don't have to become a tech expert, you just have to stay curious. For athletes, understand that how you're being evaluated is changing. Your film matters, your data matters, and the coaches recruiting you are increasingly using technology to make decisions. Know the game you're playing. We talked about social media and athletes a couple of episodes before this one. Go back and listen to that, where I talked about cleaning up your image and your brand, your personal brand, and your social media. All of this ties into AI and coaches recruiting and those decisions that they make. And for all of us, let's not lose sight of what makes this sport worth playing and coaching in the first place. The relationships, the growth, the moments that no algorithm can predict or replicate. AI is a tool, a powerful one. But the heart of volleyball, the competition, the team, the grind, that's still human and it will always be human. If this episode sparked something for you, share it with a coach or player in your circle. This is a conversation our community needs to be having. And if you want me to go deeper on any specific tool or topic, drop it in the comments or hit me on socials. Please follow on all pages at Between the Sett with 2 T's. My website is betweenthesett.com. My apps, Set IQ and Coach's Corner, you can find those at betweenthesett.com. They will be on the Apple Store soon. Yay! But you can learn more about them and download them on the website if you're interested right now. Until next week, this is Between the Sett. Stay sharp, stay curious, keep competing, stay focused, stay locked in. Keep it going out there. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.